4, 3, 2, 1, and I think we're live. Hey guys, we got an amazing guest tonight. We have Edward Lucier, and we're gonna be getting into everything from the Anunnaki to Egypt to metaphysics, the occult, tarot, and like all kinds of stuff. And I'm gonna play the intro and we'll get started. And buckle up. So I think. Let me see here. There we go. I just hit this every time I play this subscribe video real quick, guys. All you have to do is subscribe, whether you're on here, subscribe on Rumble, hit the notification bell, and then also give the video a thumbs up that you like the video. That way it helps the algorithm. And also share this with your friends if you like it. And thank you so much, everyone, for being here tonight. And who I have with me is Edward Lucier. He's a world-renowned clairvoyant, Reiki Master Teacher, shaman, esoteric researcher, and author with over 35 years experience. And he's, by the way, he's a very prolific author, by the way, with over 35 years experience in the paranormal, occult, and metaphysical fields. He's made over 900 successful premonitions, many documented publicly, regarding world politics, economics, and disasters. His predictions have aligned with hundreds of billions of dollars worth of corporate and geopolitical outcomes. Jim is a multi-lineage Reiki master, Usui Reiki, Crystal, Quantum, and Rainbow, and has logged over 10,000 hours. And he's also the author of the books, the Anunnaki Tablets of Destiny, which we're going to be talking about tonight. And then also he wrote a book about Egypt, and I'm looking for where that is right here. I have, let me see here. It's called The Kemet Pharmacon, a multi-layered study intended for readers with extensive knowledge of ancient Egyptian mythology. And the Anunnaki one is interesting. It's called The Tablets of Destiny, Book of the Anunnaki, a trance-channeled expose that merges ancient aliens, modern ufology, and a grand unifying field theory. So with all that said, I'd like to give him a big warm welcome to the show for the first time. Jim, thank you so much for coming on. How are you?
Thank you. Good. I'm doing very well. Thanks. Good to see everybody, and thank you very much for inviting me.
Yeah, and I just want to give a shout out to my good friend Coley. She set this up. So another amazing guest, Coley. Thank you. And okay. So where should we start? Tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, how'd you get involved in all this? And then yeah.
Okay. Well, so you can hear me good? You can hear me okay?
Sure, okay. Yeah. I'm going to turn your volume up a tiny bit. I'm just going to adjust your mic a little bit. And that's good.
Okay. Yeah. It's a long story, but I'll just go bullet form a couple things. Just I've always been interested and fascinated with the paranormal my whole life. I think I was born that way, literally born with paranormal books in my hand. And ever since I was a little kid, I loved astronomy, stars, planets. I looked at all those books and stuff like that all the time. And ever since then, I lived in a couple of haunted houses when I was a kid, and grew up to the age of 15 in 2 separate haunted houses. And I wasn't told they were haunted until I was much older, and explained a lot of things that were going on. And I've seen a lot of UFOs from a distance. I've been abducted quite a few times.
You've actually been abducted? Could you tell us?
Many times. It's on my blogs, my Facebook timelines over the past 15 years. Many times, but through mostly what's known as the dream time. They're very, very vivid dreams, very like it's like you were there, type dreams. Mostly that way. But when I was a kid, when I was about 11, I know I was physically abducted. I was in my basement of my home, and I woke up in the middle of the night, got up, looked back, and saw my body lying on the bed. And I saw these bright lights in the window. And so I went outside. I walked through the doors, went to the back of the backyard, and all I could see was all these bright lights. And the next day, I looked down and I saw two large scars on my chest, one by my belly, and with chunks, like square chunks missing.
Scoop marks.
Yeah, like scooping out an ice cream thing. No blood or nothing like that. Just two large. There's still scars there.
Did you have missing time or screen memories too?
Also, sorry, my camera's acting up a little bit, but
You're okay. You're okay. It's good.
Yeah, no missing time. I can't remember. No, honestly, I can't. I don't think I had, other than like through dreams when I'm sleeping. I don't remember other than the abduction itself.
And like, how much of that do you remember from what you can recall? Like, is it like spotty?
Well, most of the abduction dreams are surgeries, all kinds of surgeries, back surgeries, brain surgeries. I've had needles poked to the back of my eye, and you can hear the crunching at the back of the head. You can actually hear it crunching. And I've had things like that. Mostly surgeries. I've felt like lightning has been striking against my spine, like hitting it, like, you know, it's if they're putting staples or something, you know.
That's fascinating. Like, what do you think? Have you ever had any contact with the aliens? And do you know what they were doing this for, or do you have an idea?
I don't know. I've had contact with various forms of alien species through channeling, what's known as trance channeling or channeling, which I began in about 1989. And I've just been receiving, it's kind of like telepathy. It's like telepathy at the same time, telepathy and kind of like pictures all at the same time. Like receiving volumes of information in a picture, like that. And so this happened a lot when I was working from 1989 to about 1995, and throughout the 90s, and then into the 2000s, where I was receiving literally blinding images in my head. It's like someone put those virtual reality things over your eyes. And so until I went and ran and hide somewhere and write it all down because I didn't want to get fired. And so I'd write all this stuff down and record it all real quick. And that's how it began, and it stayed that way for about 25 years. And made my books from that, and about 1,000 illustrations about alien technology, alien philosophy.
I love that. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, and one of the, what do you think where do you go with that, with alien technology and alien philosophy? Do you feel like the aliens have a philosophy, and do you feel like they have given us technology that they're using or that we are using now? Or maybe some reverse engineered stuff and stuff like that.
Well, for sure. Oh, sorry about my camera. I don't know what's happening with it.
It's okay. It only goes out for like a tiny second, and it doesn't go out. It's just like it's focusing, I think.
I don't know what the hell's going on. It's never done that much before at all. But anyways, apologies. So what was the first part of your question again? There was a few.
We were going to get into alien philosophy and alien tech.
Well, the philosophy is non-mathematical. There's some mathematics in it, but very limited. But their philosophy is more or less that there's two curvatures to the universe. We are aware of the first one, which is the Einsteinian curvature, but there's actually two. And that's how they develop their technologies with levity and faster than light technologies, tachyons, their ability to, sorry?
No, nothing. I was agreeing with you. Nothing. It's okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's a philosophy that we're so far only aware of the first one, but they use two, and it's a lot like alchemy, like the double strand helix. It's all of that sort of type of philosophy. Like alchemy, there's the two poles, and then the two poles mix and merge. And when they merge, that's their technological ability to go invisible, go through anything, levity, faster than light. And I think we do have some of their technology. Like, it would make sense that that throughout the millions of years that there have been other ships that have crashed here or probed. I don't really believe in alien crashes. I believe that they're deliberate. They're not crashes. They're deliberate. They're like payloads in these things, and they're unloading these payloads of information and like nanotechnology out into the atmosphere, into the world, and monitoring and so forth us that way. So, like, for example, at Skinwalker Ranch, they think there may be a crashed UFO in there, and but I don't believe it's crashed. It's a deliberate portal. They built it. They constructed it.
Some people think there's one in the mountain and then there's one underneath the surface. Do you believe that, possibly?
Oh yes, there's probably a lot. Yeah, they're all over the place. Yeah.
Well, there's so much we need to get into. But what I wanted to kind of focus on was your two books, the one on the Anunnaki and then the Kemet Pharmacon, both of those. Because I'm fascinated in the story with the Anunnaki. I studied it a lot, and but it says about this book again that it's a trans-channeled expose that emerges ancient aliens, modern ufology, and a grand unifying field theory. Can you talk about that a little bit? And I'll just say, I'm familiar with the word, the tablets of destiny, because you find out that, like, if you read the Sumerian tablets, that Enki is going around, and I think Inanna tries to get the tablets of destiny off Enki. I believe there's a point where she gets Enki drunk, and she steals the tablets of destiny. So people have thought that these tablets of destiny are like a grand blueprint for our reality. Some people have kind of thought of that as. So I'd love to get your opinion on that.
Yeah, Rob, exactly. That's exactly what they are. They're okay. Well, about in Greece, there was a computer found made of stone it's about 3,000-4,000 years old, probably a lot older than that. And that's what these tablets are like. Is they're like cogwheels within cogwheels, and as they turn and twist, destinies of entire societies are moved. They can move societies because so many people have now been implanted that they can literally put things in motion. And that's what the destiny tablets are, is that they put things in motion.
I think they also refer to themselves in the tablets as the ordainers of destiny as well.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
Matthew LaCroix talks about that. Matthew LaCroix talks about that. He even proposed that maybe they were even still existing in like another dimension, like watching over humanity or something like that. Maybe involved with the government or something like that. I don't know.
Well, I'm not sure so much about the government, but they have been they've been here for they built the solar system. It's an artificial construction, as is Earth. They built that. When we say the Anunnaki, we're not just talking about one particular group. There's a whole bunch of them. There's about 12 to 13 different pantheons throughout the world that they were Egyptian. They were all kinds of different species.
Yeah, because like they say like Enki was a Hora Mazda in Persia, and I think he was Neptune in Rome, and in Greece he was the Poseidon. You know what I mean? And then Enlil was Ashur in Syria. Enlil was Apollo in Rome, and Enlil was Zeus in Greece. And I think Enlil was well, I think also Ashur in Persia too. Like so you see their names translate throughout the Middle East, and then some even say that like Thoth was Quetzalcoatl, or he could have been Kukulkan because there was that pyramid war with him and Marduk, and like Thoth leaves, and we don't know where. It doesn't really say where he goes. Sitchin kind of says that he thinks that might be where Thoth went, and yeah, it's interesting for sure. I love the story, And I don't just read. I'll just say, like, I don't. I know you've channeled a lot, but like, I don't just read. I can't channel. I don't just read Sitchin. Like, I've read like people like Austin Henry Layard, Samuel Noah Kramer, George Smith. Like, I have the Chaldean account of the Deluge, which is like George. These were all like writers or like Assyriologists from the 1800s. They also transcribed the tablets, and people give Sitchin a lot of shit, but like they came up with similar conclusions to Sitchin. Some of Sitchin's stuff is kind of like out there, like a couple of his theories, but a lot of it matches up,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you got all that right. That would be the correct way of thinking about all of it. Yeah. Um, they built the Earth as a giant portal, and of course you've heard of Hollow Earth and Agartha, and there are many pockets inside of the Earth, much like looks more like cheesecloth, and they have bases all over and all kinds of many of the alien species, many of what they call shadow people, what they call cryptids, and all that. They come out mostly from Hollow Earth. And if
yeah. I just want to tell you this real quick. We had a question from the audience. My friend Michelle wanted to ask you this. She says, "Has Jim ever heard of the frozen spheres that control realities in frozen Antarctica?"
They would be. I've heard a little bit about it. Mostly, it's one of the things I channeled quite a while ago. They're more. They're not. They're more crystalline. They're crystalline rather than anything else. And in the crystal, of course, is the super microscopic semi-computer stuff. If you can imagine a supercomputer condensed to the size of a large, crystal sphere, that's how they will operate. And there's a few of them, and one kind of tends to go one way, and then there's another one, maybe above it or a little bit below it, that goes the other way. And it's a giant computer. Yes, yeah, it's in Antarctica. Like in the north as well.
What are these? Are these computers that manipulate timelines and they literally manipulate reality? Like like you guys are proposing? Is that what you guys are saying? That these are like the what's interesting is my friend Nathan says to me that he thinks our reality is being run off the blockchain, which would tie into computers because that would be some kind of like, I don't know, I don't know. I don't know the whole theory behind that, but he just proposed it one time. And he said someone has some good evidence for it that he feels like, something like our reality might be based off the blockchain. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, everything like I'm saying is just my own opinion, should be considered that way, and I have no evidence. But yeah, these like tablets of destiny, I guess you could call them too, are the timelines are worked like millions of years back. It's kind of like, it's not like all of a sudden they decided to turn something very quickly and like change a timeline. I mean, it does happen from time to time, but for the most part, like our reality that we're sitting in right now goes back millions of years. Like it's not like they just decide to make a switch and everything's changed. But they can do that in certain portions of the world, certain parts they can do that. What I call paraportals or paranormal portals can open up. They can open those up using the crystal gates, those spheres that we were talking about. Yeah, they can change timelines, but for the most part, the main timeline that we're experiencing all sharing together is pretty much the basic framework. Like it's not like we're seeing giant UFOs flying over the cities or anything like that, even though some people claim to have seen that. You know, it's not like we have cryptids roaming all over.
Yeah, that's interesting. What do you think happened to these tablets of destiny? Do you think who got their hands on them, or like, what do you think is? What do you know?
They are in the hands of Ani, the supreme commander of the chief of the Anunnaki, and Enki, and in Anna, and during the war, there was a big war that took place a long time ago, and Il lost the war and lost the tablets of destiny. And according to Stitchin, the destiny of the human race was handed over to Enki. It's actually written. There's written tablets that say that he was given authority over mankind because he had defeated the bad side of the Anunnaki that wanted to keep us as slaves.
Huh. That's interesting. Yeah. Let me is here. And what other ways do the Anunnaki and UFO phenomena intersect in your view? And do you feel like that's how they came? Like, do you think they were interdimensional, or do you think they came in like craft?
They came interdimensionally. We have to remember there's about at least 16 dimensions in the quantum realm. And what they do in their ships, by using two curvatures, as I mentioned earlier, is they take those 16 or more dimensions and they lift them up into our macro world. So we live in a world of 4 dimensions. Try to imagine a world of 16 dimensions. And wow. They can do this with their technologies. So their ships they can do almost anything. They can, you see those TikToks and they just supersonic beyond belief. Sometimes pilots will see the huge, giant spaceships, levity, being totally quiet, moving at light speed, there 1 second, gone the next. These are all the result of lifting up the 16 dimensions or more into our macro world.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. And then I kind of wanted to touch, because we have an hour, and I guess you did want to get into tarot and some readings tonight. So I'm going to move on to the Kemet Pharmacon now. And let's talk about that a little bit. The Kemet Pharmacon is described as containing many layers of meaning meant for an advanced readership. Could you explain, like, the title? What do you mean by Pharmacon, and what does it represent in the context of ancient Kemet?
Well, the Pharmacon is just another word for kind of a pharmacy. But instead of drugs, this is more of a codex, a series of certain beliefs. And all of the Egyptian hieroglyphs, the symbols, are actually codes of understanding the astral and the ethereal worlds.
Wow. So there's actually codes to the astral world, you're saying, or codes to the ethereal world. We can use, if we can get our hands on these codes, we can manipulate them ourselves or enter into them?
In a matter of philosophy and understanding the astral worlds and the ethereal, understanding how ghosts, spirits, entities of every type are made. Like, I mean, how do they have structure? How do they make all kinds of this is weird. My camera is just really getting weird. I don't know what's going on. Sorry about that.
It might be some kind of targeting or something, I don't know. Maybe you're speaking a lot of truth. So
Yeah, that's right. That could be. Yeah, because that's never happened before. Anyway, yeah. So there are codes about that, about how the structure of the spirit is made.
Wow, that's fascinating. I had a guest on earlier today, and I was talking about like how these entities get caught in like objects. Like for example, like if there's a spirit inside the crystal skulls, or if entities get caught in crystals, or if entities get caught in haunted dolls. You know what I mean? Because I know when I die, you know what I mean. I don't want to get trapped in something. Like that would be horrible to be trapped in
Yeah.
like a doll for the rest of your life. Like how do you think that? I just wanted to get your opinion. How do you think something like that happens? Do you think it happens with like black magic or something like that?
No, in the Pharmacon there, it explains how there's many different types of Egyptian symbols, and many of these symbols are in the shape of an oval, and these are gates, you can pass through, and the spirit world is full of these like nets. It's like spider webs that they can go through. It's like a whole bunch of nets, like walking through a whole bunch of nets, and they go through the holes, and um, they can get caught up in the nets and get stuck in the crystal or get stuck in the doll. But that's the way they do it. It's at a very quantum level, sometimes called quantum foam. And they go through all these holes, these little tiny holes, and they can enter our world through these objects, through a crystal, through a doll.
Wow, that's interesting. So when we're talking about these symbols, that like what mythological or symbolic layers are most prominent in your book? Like for instance, would you say it's alchemy, healing practices, or mythic archetypes? Anything like that?
Pretty much all of that. But it all started off with the first king and queens of Egypt, the god pantheon. The gods were extraterrestrial, and they created the hieroglyphs as a form of recording certain knowledge and wisdom about the astral planes and ethereal planes, which are forms of intense energy that also the extraterrestrials can use as a form of technology, an energy source.
It's amazing. Yeah. And then they're using that to manifest in our reality, you're saying.
Oh yeah, yes, oh yes, yeah. We've all heard about the healing powers of Reiki and things like that. Well, they can amplify that billions of times, and they convert that into pure energy.
Wow, that's fascinating. Now, how does your background in trance channeling and like esoteric traditions inform your interpretation of the Egyptian mythology in your book?
Wow. Okay, can you break that question down a little bit?
Yeah, sorry. I said, how does your background, like in trance channeling, inform your interpretation of the Egyptian mythology in your book? Like, for example, like, did you use any trance channeling to come to conclusions with this book, or did you use all like symbology from like what's written on the walls in Egypt?
Um, Mostly channeled. I would look at the symbols, and then I would channel that symbol, and then I would write down or record what it was that I saw, what I was given, through a form of telepathy and a form of, like I said, it's like receiving a volume of like a library and a bunch of pictures all at the same time. It's a mixture, and that's what happened. I just, yeah, with all my books, most of them.
Yeah, that's amazing. And then, like I was going to say, like for readers that aren't as well versed in Egyptian mythology, what kind of key insights do you want people to take away from your book?
Well, just that the universe we believe to be the universe is actually made up of many universes, and we just happen to be built in a single continuum at the moment, and the astral ethereal planes are real. They have a structure. They have a code, codex, logos, if you will, and we can learn from the Egyptian symbols different formulas on how to approach the astral and ethereal worlds.
Wow, I love that. That's awesome. Yeah. And yeah, this is really cool. And let me see here. Uh, let me see here. Okay, so going back to the Tablets of Destiny book and the Anunnaki, how did you arrive at like blending ufology, ancient aliens, and esoteric physics all into one channel of work? And we didn't even get into the esoteric physics part. I didn't know if a lot of people would know about that, but if you want to touch on it, maybe we could.
The ethereal, the esoteric.
Yeah.
Okay. The esoteric materials just more or less just like were downloaded. It was like a download. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
That's amazing. Yeah. Now, I kind of wanted to switch up to the psychic part because, we have about a half hour left, and we wanted to do some readings, but I wanted to ask you, like, in your picture, you have a picture that you've created something called the tarot wheel, and so I find this fascinating. But you've made over 900 successful premonitions.
Right.
This is fascinating to me. Like, how? I mean, yeah, wherever you want to go with that. Tell us a little bit about your psychic journey.
Okay. Well, all the premonitions used to come to me all the time through dreams, and they'd be like dreams of tornadoes or dreams of gold or dreams of whatever, and I would record those dreams and see those as, okay, gold's going to go up, or there's going to be a war here right away, or there's going to, the GDP of some country's going to go up and or down or whatever, and so on and so forth. That's mostly how I received it, was through dreams. Through the past almost 2 decades now, I've recorded all these and on my blogs and on my Facebook timelines, and then I recorded when I had the dream, and then later on the dream would come true, like say a week later, 2 weeks later, a month, 2 months later, and then I would say, okay, this was a successful premonition. It came true at this time, at this date. That's what I mean by successfully documented premonitions. But since my dad passed away a few years ago, that ability has really gone downhill. In a way, I kind of asked for that. My dad was type O negative, and so his whole family side was that. And so I think when I hung around with my dad and his family, I received a lot of that energy. But since my father died, I haven't been to his side very much. So the premonition seems to have slowly waned since his passing. I don't know if that makes any sense, but he was my biggest inspiration. He's the one that always believed in me and my family. So that's how I recorded all that psychic stuff. And every once in a while I'd get a psychic vision of something economic or something like there was about to be an earthquake somewhere. But the majority came from dreams. And those dreams, that started to fade away after my father passed.
Yeah, yeah. So, but do you still have like? Do you still do? Do you still have like? Have you ever gotten anything that like has come true recently that is like you feel like everybody needs to know, or something that you feel like is really pertinent?
Not recently, no. Maybe if you had asked me that a few months ago or something, there might have been something, but not so much recently. I've mostly been focusing on other things, and I wanted all these premonitions to kind of go away, because at that time I didn't have a voice. I didn't, like, let's say I had a premonition today of an earthquake in El Salvador or something like that. Who would I tell? Who would know? Like what? Like, I don't even know the exact time it's going to take place. Sort of thing. So without the voice, it doesn't really matter if you're clairvoyant or paranormal at all, because you got no one to tell.
That's a good point. Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. Like, Emily wanted to know in the chat. She wanted to know: do you ever get any messages from your dad? Like, have you been able to connect with him on the other side?
Oh yes, yeah. That's a really good question, and thank you. I've had many dreams of my dad, my brother who passed away quite a long time ago, other family members, mostly of my dad's side. There's been a few members on my mom's side that have passed, but I never dream of them. Mostly just on my dad's side. And again, they were all O negative, or negative blood types. So I don't know, I might have something to do with it, I'm not sure. But they're alive, they're well, they've given me prophecies. Soon after my brother died, several years ago, he came to me in a dream, and he said that there was going to be a war with Iran. And of course, it took a long time for that to come to fruition. But he said to me in the dream that all these souls were getting ready to pass over when this war happens. So maybe during that time and this time, that war was averted, or to a point where it wasn't as catastrophic as it could have been.
Well, yeah, because timelines are always changing, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So when you do readings, okay, let's talk about this. What is the tarot wheel, and what is that your invention?
Yeah. I got it over here on the table. There's two of them there. I should have brought them closer, but yeah, they're interconnected wheels. All of the tarot cards, the 78 cards, have been placed onto about 8 wheels, interconnected wheels, and they move kind of like the tablets of destiny. And you spin the wheels if you want to know the future, and there's this dial in the middle of the wheels, and you read the cards that fall into this dial, and you get about 8 readings all at once: past, future, present, what's the obstacles, so on and so forth. So it's never, I don't think it's ever been done before, where you put 78 tarot cards into a system of wheels.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love it. I'd love to try it and see. Is it for people that don't know how to read tarot? Is it easier to use? Is it an easier tool for people that might not know the whole tarot system?
Yeah, it's very easy to use. It's like a conversation table type piece. I don't know if you've ever seen an episode of Seinfeld where they've actually put legs on his book and called it a coffee table book. And
yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah.
But that's kind of like what it's like. It's a very simple conversation piece, quick readings. If you want more in-depth readings, like if you want to go into much more detail, and you have to, there's a lot of books.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, this is amazing. Well, let's do this now, guys. We have about 20 minutes left. We could do like a small Q&A. Like if you have any questions for Jim about anything we've talked about so far, put your questions in the chat, and then also maybe Jim can do a couple readings for you. If anybody wants a reading, put your name in the chat, and we'll yeah. And you can also donate if you want. The links are in the description, and the mods are putting it in the chat. But yeah, well, I guess we could just wait for the questions. Like, or do you want to read me first? You want to read me first?
Okay. Preferably, do you have a question? You don't have to
I always ask about two things: my love life and my business. Like in my love life, I met someone recently that I really care about a lot, and I'm wondering how that's going to go. And then my business is my podcast. I do this I do this full time. You know what I mean? So I'm
Okay.
always like worried about those two things.
Okay. And one thing people should know about the tarot cards is it's a weird thing to say, but they kind of know the answer. They already have the answer ready for you before you even get to them. It's kind of like an entity of architectural type mind stuff, subconscious. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll draw 3 cards. One's the past. So this one I drew Ace of Wands. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
Now that represents to your love life, strength, success, everything that you would want to have in a love life. It's there if you want it, or at least it was in the past. That's the past card. So everything's good there. Like it's there's a good future. Well, actually, I got to do the future here in a minute, but it's a good card to start off with your love life. Now
Wow.
I'll do that one first. Then now the present for the love life. 7 of Wands is there. That represents there is a little bit of I don't want to say conflict, but there's two forces moving kind of counter to each other, almost like a balance of two scales, kind of in the process. They're in the process of balancing out. They haven't quite balanced out totally yet, but forces in the universe are at work to balance your concerns of your relationships and love. All right.
Wow. You're exactly right. There is a little bit of conflict. It's not bad. It's just like
Yeah.
stress stuff right now. Yeah.
Right.
That you're exactly right.
Oh, well, thank you. For the future, hey, you got it made, man. The Queen. How's that?
What's that mean? What's that mean?
That's pretty much self-explanatory right there. The future looks good. The Queen is happy. If the Queen is happy, everybody's happy.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good future for love. Do you still want to know about your business?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll just shuffle it a little bit here.
I'm excited. Yeah. And while you're shuffling, I figured we could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Emily Howard wants to know what happened on the craft, or who are the ones that abducted you? Was it? I'm just going to guess. Was it the Greys? And then she said she missed that question because she wasn't in the or she missed that part of the show because she wasn't in the audience earlier.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was the Greys. Most of all the time, it is them. Now, the Greys are the agents of the Anunnaki, called the Agigi. I'll spell that I, then G-I, and G-I, Agigi. They're the kind of like the ones that do all the work for the Anunnaki. They were created by the Anunnaki as a sort of like like God and his angels. If God wants something done, he sends his angels. Well, the Anunnaki, if they want something done, they send the Greys. Certain types of them. There's many different types of Greys, but many more advanced ones, not so advanced, and so on. So it's a whole slew of them. But yeah, mostly it was the Greys that I encountered.
Wow, that's interesting. That is really interesting.
Okay, do you want the card?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah, it is the Empress, which means nothing but success. That, like, it's just you're on the right track. You're doing good. She's holding what looks like a sphere or a bottle of perfume, and that indicates a volume uh, of having good success, like a good volume of abundance. It's abundance. So it's all good. What you're doing is good. There's going to be more abundance. Everything's going to keep growing. And she's sitting on a throne. So, oh no, actually, not in this one. She isn't. But there's also stars, a whole bunch of stars. Not in this card, but in the Rider Tarot card. This is a different set. There's 13 different stars, and on her crown, and the 13 stars represent the 13 zodiac signs. There's 13 of them. We all know mostly about the 12, but there's the 13th called the serpent bearer. And so it's all good. It means the world is turning, and it's in control, and your podcast is nothing but success.
Wow, that's amazing. Wow. Well, thank you. That was amazing.
Yeah.
The next one we have is Linda Wagner. And she says, I would love and appreciate a little reading if you feel drawn to do so. I don't know what her question is. Linda, do you have a question? Can you put it in the chat? And usually the chat's a little bit behind, so we're, we'll see. Someone asked if the last reading I got, if I got a Two of Pentacles. Willow asked that. For people that are listening to this on audio, I think I did get a Two of Pentacles last time. Someone read me. Yeah. I'm just waiting to see if Linda has a question.
Okay.
Entertainment Extreme Network, you're next. I will get you next. So, yeah, don't worry. I got you up here. And this is fun. She says general or for financial or love relationship. Any of those. She said she would be happy. She says general reading or financial or love.
Okay, so it sounds like a general question of more or less how the future is going to turn out, more or less.
Yeah.
In all aspects.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just do it a little bit different this time for something like that. Okay. And what I got here was the Knight of Cups. That means that all your concerns, everything that you're concerned about, is in process. Like it's ongoing, as you see by the horse. The Seven of Cups is on his horse, and he's carrying abundance and the principles of seven. 7 lamps, 7 continents, 7 colors of light, so on and so forth. And as he's carrying this on the horse, it's much like what Bob's reading was, with everything is still in motion, still working its way. Some things are close to finalization, while others are still in operation. But in the end, all in all, looks like it's going to be clear sailing. It looks good. It looks good. A little bit of patience may be needed for some things.
Wow. I love that. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that's good for Linda. Yeah, well, it's a good one. And do you do private readings? Like, can people book with you and stuff like that? Do you entertain that?
Well, you know what? I think I'm going to start doing that now. I've been planning on it for a long time, and I could do it if I wanted to, but I never got into it. But since this is doing well, and this is a good way to kick it off, and I think I am going to start going full throttle on doing public or readings, private readings for people, and downtown here where I live and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have you come back too. You can come back where we do a show on readings too. We could just do a show, like that'd be awesome, because I enjoyed talking to you. You're really interesting,
Oh, thank you, sir.
And okay, let's see here. This one's Entertainment Extreme Network, and he says, "Can I have a?"
We're in Hollywood. I hope I made it.
Yeah. Do you have a question, Entertainment? He says general.
Okay. Okay. Just so. Yep. General reading. Anything more specific? Like just anything? Like maybe how well your business is going to do, or something, or.
Did you hear that, Entertainment? Do you want to know any specific question about your love life or business or anything like that, or like or a general question, or like anything you want to know? Let us know in the chat before we, income money, he says. And let's give a shout out to Kelly. You see Kelly's in the chat tonight. Good to see you, Kelly. And everybody in the chat. It's good to see all you guys. You guys are all like family. Michelle and Service Planet Radio and Entertainment, and Angela Collum and Willow Roots and Linda Wagner and Derek Galloway and Arizona Raven and Puck Elf and Kitsilile. And we got a big group tonight,
Welcome. Yeah. That's great. That's great. So he just wanted just a basic reading. It's a random.
Yeah. He wants to know about income and money. He said income and money.
Right. Okay.
Oh, he froze. Hopefully he comes right back. I know he only had an hour, so I'm hoping he comes back. Like, that's why I was trying to like kind of get through the readings, because like I wanted everybody who wanted a reading to get one, but like, Let me try to take him off the screen, and then we'll bring him back. Let me see if he can, if I remove him from the screen, if that does any. Oh yeah, it just took him away. So maybe he'll come back. And yeah. So how's everybody doing tonight? Does anybody have any questions or anything like that? Anybody think they want to talk about? Did everybody see the UFO hearing this morning? I heard that Jason said in the last chat. I didn't get to see it because I had a busy morning. But like someone said that they showed a missile blowing up a UAP or a UFO. Did anybody see this? Jason, can you confirm this? Yeah. I mean, and did anything else happen that was like newsworthy from the UFO hearing that we need to know about? Anybody know? We'll wait and see what people say. Spiritual Ascension says, I have a question. Why can't we donate through the chat? Because, okay, if you want to know the truth, Spiritual Ascension, let me take this down. So, like, you guys can get the real truth. And this is why I encourage everybody to donate with PayPal or Cash App or Venmo or Buy Me a Coffee, because I can't get monetized through YouTube. Now, you can go do a Rumble rant, which is like a YouTube, super chat, because I'm monetized on Rumble, you know what I mean? But not many people watch on Rumble. But like, YouTube won't monetize me. They keep saying my content's dangerous. I've tried to apply it with this new. On my old channel, I was monetized the whole time. But then this new channel, I've qualified for monetization 4 times. Every time I apply, they say my content's too dangerous, so they won't monetize it. So therefore, I can't get super chats. So I have to have people donate. But it's actually better. I was never demonetized. Spiritual Ascension. I never qualified for it in the first place. I mean, no, I qualified for it, but because they're saying my content's too dangerous, therefore they won't monetize it. Excuse me. So yeah, it's so that's why I actually just put out a letter tonight. I was like, people should support the podcast and donate. I've done over 2,100 shows. We're coming up on number 2,200. We're going to do a Halloween party this year. Anybody who wants to come will be invited. It'll be a big community gathering. And then we'll do that again for New Year's too. That'll be fun. And yeah, so we got some things coming up, and yeah. Just seeing what some of the comments are here. Willow Root says, yeah, YouTube is gatekeeping info. Yeah, I would say so, because they promote certain people. And, usually those people are pushing an agenda, Whereas I just try to stay neutral. Like you don't really ever hear me taking a side. Like I know a little bit about the Anunnaki and stuff like that, but like, I very rarely do I ever take a side. I try to stay neutral on everything, and I just let the guests come on and present their information. You know what I mean? And so, and then that's why there's the sign on the thumbnail. If you ever notice on the thumbnail, it says, "We go deep, you decide." That means like we go deep, we're going to go deep, and then you guys decide. And you guys do in the chat. You guys put your opinions in the chat, and I let everybody, put their opinion in the chat. I don't care what you say. I mean, unless it's something like rude or something towards the guest, But that's the whole point of it, is to go deep and let you guys make a decision on whether you believe the guest or you think it's, bullshit, or, you guys know what I mean. Michelle said balls deep. That's hilarious. Yeah, we go balls deep. That's hilarious. Oh my God. Jason says, got to pay attention to the industrial disclosure complex. Yeah, I agree. Willow Root says she likes to ride the fence on coming to a guest, taking a side. Angela says she agrees. Sometimes she learns from the live chat. That's good. I don't think this guy's coming back, guys. I don't think this guy's coming back. So we'll just talk for a couple more minutes, then I'm going to go. I mean, I don't know what else to do. I can't do I'm not going to do readings. I'm not. I just can't. Like I'm not like ready for that yet. Otherwise, I would do it for you guys, but I just don't want to. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to. I don't know. Oh, Kelly, thank you for the donation. That's amazing. Kelly's so nice, and Kelly has a heart of gold, guys. She's a good person. She really is. She says you don't need a. She says I don't need a reading. She says just sending some support and good vibes. And Kelly's a Pittsburgher like myself. Thank you again, Kelly. That was awesome. Angela Combs says he was awesome. Show was awesome as always. Thanks, Angela. I appreciate it. Service Planet Radio says the industrial disclosure complex. What is that doing? I'm going to start. Oh, the Earth Grid. Michelle says she's going to start doing readings. Yeah, you can come on here and do them, Michelle. I'll have you on. That's another thing. I put on most people, by the way. Like very rarely do I ever say no to anyone. You know what I mean? Like unless I'm just totally not interested. If it's something like that's like real political or like, you know what I mean? Or like something that's just completely out of my wheelhouse, then I'll say no. But like usually like most of the people that want to come on are like interesting. So I let them come on, I don't know. Oh, Willow Root says she used to live in the Harrisburg area. That's crazy. I'm from Pittsburgh. Yeah. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Yeah, that's cool. So you're in the center of Pennsylvania. I always tell people there's Pittsburgh on the western side, there's Harrisburg in the center, and then there's Philly on the eastern side, which Philly could basically be a different state, right? Because it's like 6 hours away, Jason says I should pull up the missile clip. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can try to find it on my phone real quick. Oh, thanks, Puck Elf. Puck Elf said he donated. Thank you, Puck Elf. That was really nice of you, dude. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for supporting the point, So, like I'm so tempted to tell you guys about my love life. You know what I mean? But like, like Michelle knows, a couple people in the chat know like who it is, but like I'm just afraid to say something because I don't want to ruin it. You know what I mean? And plus I want to give respect to the other person who it is because, she's somewhat known. So it's like, or you guys definitely know who she is, but I mean, I just wanted to work out. And I feel like if I tell people, then it's going to get messed up, because that's what happens all the time. That's what happens all the time. So, plus we're in a full moon. So, it's been a little bit chaotic recently. I don't know if it's been chaotic for everybody else, but it's been chaotic for me, Puck Elf says, keep it close to your chest. Never kiss and tell. I didn't kiss her yet because she lives far away, But I mean, I'm hoping to, like. Michelle says, tell us everything, Rob. It's just us. Michelle already knows, guys. Michelle already knows. You know what I mean? Michelle knew because Michelle told me that the girl liked me. And then I said something to Michelle. I was like, do you think I should say something back? And then I didn't even wait. I said something. I'm just going through some of these comments here. Angela says, I think everyone does. Does everybody know who it is? So, okay, if you think you know who it is, put the girl's name in the chat and we'll see if you're right. Like, but Michelle, don't say anything, let's just see if they know who it is. Oh, here's our guy. He's back. Good. That gets me out of the hot seat. Yeah. That gets me out of the hot seat. Yeah. The conversation will be continued, guys. So hello. Yeah, okay. Hey Jim, how you doing? I was just having a moment with the audience and stuff, so yeah.
Sorry about that. My computer totally crashed. It crashed. And it's a new computer. It's only about a year old. And
do you have like 10 minutes? Do you want to hang out for 10 more minutes or do you need to go?
Yeah, I'm so sorry for that.
Oh, it's okay, man. It's totally okay. I think we were on Entertainment Extreme Network. I can't remember where we were at with him, but like, yeah.
Okay. I'll have to get my cards out because I thought that was it. It crashed and that was it. Sorry about that. Remember you were saying earlier about, I think I may have been giving out too much information or something like that, and we were getting interfered with.
Yeah. It's targeting. I get targeting all the time.
I think that's what may have happened because my computer's only about a year old. It shouldn't have crashed like that. So again, my apologies. Okay, so the card here, and is the High Priestess, and nothing but good fortune. Everything is good. She's the queen of balances, the queen of polarities and dualities, and so there's work to be done, but everything's going to turn out just great. That's a very good. It's a positive card. She has in her hand a globe, an orb, which again is a symbol of abundance and also a symbol of many things that have already been accomplished. So there's a whole abundance there. That's abundance symbol. And the waxing moon there at the bottom, that's a waxing moon. The moon is going to be full pretty soon. So things appear to be looking good.
That's amazing. I love that. Well, yeah, that was great for him. And let me see here. Would anybody else like a reading? But before we move on, yeah, like, because he said he could hang out for a couple more minutes. So if anybody else wants a reading, let us know, guys, and we'll get to it. So let me ask you this, Jim. What are you going to write next while we're waiting to see if someone else wants a reading? Like, or do you have a plan on like what your next book is? Because you're a very prolific writer.
Oh, thank you. Not at the moment. If it is, it's going to be a fiction. I might do a fiction book about Hollow Earth and how they developed their cities and stuff on the planet, and ancient civilizations interacting with them. Could be what's called like a channeled science fiction.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Do you what do you feel about the secret space program? Do you feel like it's a real thing? Like it seems like it is. I mean, like I interview a lot of SSP experiencers, but then at the same time, it seems like they had this technology since the 40s, this reverse engineered UFO craft. So it would make sense that we would have something like Solar Warden out in space and that NASA's lying to us. But I don't know if you go that far into conspiracies or whatever, you know?
Yeah, there's a few things with that. Since Eisenhower, the aliens, especially the Greys, have been working kind of, sort of side by side with some governments, certain elements of those governments, not the people we see day to day, but their technologies, for the most part, is very limited. There's some good technology, but of course you give any, I don't want to say lesser or lower intelligent species weapons of certain weapons or certain technologies, and they'll either abuse it or they'll use it the wrong way or whatever. And that's kind of the way it is with us. It's kind of like nudging us a little bit, like they're kind of nudging us to better technologies. With nanotechnology, we're getting closer and closer to greater and greater AI. And AI is, the more we get into the microscopic, the infinitesimal space, the greater the intelligence of these technologies. And that's part of their influence. As to reverse engineering, I think we may have a certain tiny, nothing, I don't think it's nothing like what the generals or whoever retired people are coming out and saying. I honestly don't see that, because it's just not interfering with our direct timelines. Like,
Yeah.
for example, if they had a time machine, why not go into the Kremlin and take someone out and jump back into the time machine, and no one knows the difference. Like, there's no interferences in the timelines that we're aware of.
That's interesting. That's a really interesting take on it. We did have someone else who wanted a reading. We had a spiritual ascension. So this is spiritual ascension. And spiritual ascension, do you have a question? You know, let me see here. He said just general, please.
Okay. While I was shuffling, this card popped out. It's the Ace of Wands. That's pretty much what you got earlier, Rob. So again, all endeavors are working in your favor. Strong strength, energy. There's a castle in the background there, and that's your work, the work that you've been working on. And there's leaves. Some of the leaves are starting to come off, which means that it's kind of like autumn, like fall. It's a time of transition. There's some transition that's taking place in your life right now. It could be the end of a relationship, the start of a new one, the end of a business, start of a new one. There's a transformational form in this card. But all in all, it's very strong. The arm is really holding that branch really well, so it all looks good.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I love that. That's great. Anybody else on a reading while we're still here? Spiritual senses, it says great reading. Thanks, darling. So spiritual ascension, I think, is a woman. I'm sorry about that, spiritual ascension. Anybody else like a reading before we go? Pucko says give Michelle a reading. Yeah, let's do Michelle. That's Michelle's. She comes on my show all the time too. She's the decoder. Michelle, she's a good friend, and she really is a really good friend of mine. And Kiki Erica wants one too. So we'll do those two, and then we'll okay. Let me see here. Let me see. I can't. Oh, here she is, right here. This is Michelle, and she says, do you have a question, Michelle? I think I know what your question is already, but I'll just ask you before, she lost her cat recently. So I don't know if she's going to ask about that, but I want to wait to see what she says. And then we had another question from Emily Howard while we're waiting for Michelle's question. She said, did you get the grand unified field as a download? Is it like the unification of psychics or physics, she says?
Yeah, it's is she kind of asking about the like the downloading?
Yeah, like how you got the unified field, how it came to you. Like was it like a psychic download?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of unifying grand field theories or gut. It came in piecemeal over 25, 30 years. Drew numerous illustrations. It's all in parts and pieces. But the main theory, it came over a series of years. There's quite a few of them, the various different types of theories. They're basically about that the alien species use two curvatures of the universe, two intersecting curves. For example, in physics, you have a ball. They show you in physics this ball at the center of a cloth as relativity. Well, that ball's not going to roll anywhere because it's in this cone and it's not doing anything. It's not moving. But if you have two curvatures, as it was shown to me, the ball starts to spin and turn when there's one curvature going one way and another curvature going another way. So it causes the wave particle to spin and have energy and charge.
That's so interesting. Yeah. I never really got into that stuff, so I don't know much about it. I can't really remark, but I find it fascinating, though. I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess we could do Michelle, and then we'll do Kiki Erica, and then we'll take off, I guess. Yeah. And this was great. This was great, Jim. Thanks for hanging out with us. And I'd love to have you back on anytime. Like anytime you want.
Sure.
Anytime you want to come back on, and we can do the same thing. We can kind of like promote your books and your work, and we can do readings. I do this all the time. I have different psychics come on all the time. You know what I mean? Because I'm a big believer in psychic phenomena. Like I love it. You know what I mean? I really think it's one of the most provable forms of the paranormal, like the actually provable. And I've had people do things. I've had people who are energy healers who've been able to touch me from thousands of miles away. You know what I mean? Like it's like it's I find it fascinating. So I love it when we do a show and we get psychic confirmations. It's
okay, yeah, for sure. Anytime you want me on, I'm available.
Yeah, it's cool.
Thank you. Yeah, sorry for that glitch, though. I hope that maybe you can repair it or something. Put the two pieces of the show together or something, so you don't have that big gap or something.
Oh, it's okay. I carried the show along. I was just talking to the audience, so it's all good. And they're pretty good people. They're all good people, so they don't mind.
Okay. Hopefully we don't get shut down again, but it looks good.
Emily Howard, while you're shuffling, Emily Howard says, thanks for posting his Amazon page. One of my moderators, I think it was Jason, he posted your Amazon page, and Emily's excited for your Amazon page. I think she wants to get some of your books. So, yeah.
She wants to know, yeah, it's Amazon Kindle worldwide. There's about, 44 to, I think I'm getting close to 50, 51 books on there. Most of them are treaties, what are known as treaties. They're relatively short books, but they're very compact, for lack of better words, esoteric kind of occult knowledge. And there's many layers to them, many different layers to it. So you have to read each book quite a few times to get it all.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Michelle said. Michelle said whatever the cards wanted her to know. She said she's open. She's open to a general.
Okay. All right. 7 of Swords. For her, there's a little bit of struggle. There's been challenges in your past. They're being carried over now, but victory, there is victory. But a lot of things are in motion in your world right now. A lot of things are happening. You're carrying a lot of weight, and I mean like burdens, like psychological like burdens, like maybe family issues, issues with friends, work, whichever. You have a lot on your mind, is what I'm saying. Is that there's a lot on your mind, and but in the end, there is victory. The person carrying all the swords on him is pretty much knows what he's doing, and he's going to make it through. It's just that, and there's 2 swords at the back here. They're in the ground, which means that what you've done in the past to resolve issues has worked. So do that again. You may try that for better success.
Well, I love that for her. Yeah. She just moved recently too, so that makes sense for her. Like that makes sense. Yeah. I hope that you like that, Michelle. And then the last one is Kiki Erica, and she says I'll take a general reading, please. Whatever you come up with.
Okay. This is all. Oh, okay. Ooh, that's weird. I get a weird feeling. Okay. Wait. Okay. Well, Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is another good, obviously a good card. She's holding a cup with fish in it. So that's, I don't know if you just recently got married, or you're about to get married, or you're thinking of getting married, but it's something to do with union with another person. There's 2 fish there that she's got in the bowl, and that's abundance. And she's there's a kind of like looks like a river or something back there. So there's the element of water, which is flowing, which means transient forces are moving through your life right now. Lots of transient stuff, a lot of motion, a lot of emotion perhaps. But all is very good. It's a victory card, that all is good. And like I said, I don't know if you're about to get married or something. I see marriage in this card for some reason. I don't know why. That's all I can say, is that I see something to do with some kind of marriage. But I hope that helps you.
I love that. Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah. Yeah, I guess we could finish up now. And yeah, thanks, Jim. Do you want to tell people how they can get your books and anything you want to promote? And thank you so much. This was amazing.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah. Simply, if you want, the best way to do it is just to Google my full name, or YouTube my full name, Jim Edward Lucier, or if you're French, it's pronounced Lucier, like Garnier or Messier.
Are you from Canada?
Yes.
I can tell by your accent. Like, it's funny.
Oh.
I can tell people's accent. Like, I have a Pittsburgh accent because I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I don't like my accent. I can tell I have one, but I mean, I can't do anything about it. But like, I love the Canadian accent. You know what I mean? Everybody I meet from Canada is always so friendly. You know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're constantly having struggles here where we have what are known as Canadian standoffs. No, you go ahead. No, please, you go ahead. No, you go ahead. No, you go ahead. Too much politeness sometimes. But yeah, it's all good. Yeah, I live in the middle of a big province called Saskatchewan. It's a very, very big province.
Wow.
We take up about 5 or 6 of the states of the United States. You could fit
a
few of the states into Saskatchewan.
Is it like would you say you live in like a rural? Is it like a rural area, or do you live in a big city?
It's about 150,000 people, so we're still getting there. Sort of a medium-sized city.
Yeah.
Saskatoon.
Yeah. What's the best food up there? I you know, the reason why I asked this stuff is because I was always a big fan of Anthony Bourdain, and I always wanted to have a show where I talk to people about culture and food. I love hearing about other people's cultures and food. So like, what do you guys like to eat up there? What's like the best thing? Like,
pretty much everything. Steaks, pork chops, ribs. Salad, you name it, pretty much everything. A lot of pizza, but with our pizzas, we notice this with American pizzas, there's not that much stuff they put on them. But our pizzas, they're loaded with everything you could imagine. I mean, loaded. Like when you get a slice of pizza in Canada, it's like this.
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Do you guys eat poutine too, or is that a French Canadian thing?
Oh, yeah, we have lots of poutine here. Yeah, poutine shops. They put almost everything on the fries. Yeah, almost anything you can imagine.
Huh.
Yeah, where I'm at, there's not so much French. It's more English. Yeah.
Wow.
And some Ukrainian. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Well, thanks again for coming on. Yeah. Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. You were promoting your stuff. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, not at all. No, it's great. Yeah, just Google my name, my full name, and a whole bunch of stuff will come up. All my books, my Schaefer Publishing, my website. My website is mystagogue1.com. Now, mystagogue is a word that means occult master, but I'm not an occult master. It's just that I found it in a dictionary one day. And I thought, hey, that's a pretty cool name. I'll take that. And so I used that name as for my website and stuff.
That's
cool. Just Google my full name, Jim Edward Lucier or Lucier.
Wow. Well, yeah. Thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. And then I have some interesting shows tomorrow. Hold on, I'm just going to give you guys the schedule so you guys have it. So because sometimes it takes me a while to make the links, guys, and like the same people that are in the chat tonight will probably be in the chat tomorrow. So wait, who is this? Let me see who this is. Oh, Coley set me up with a podcast I have tomorrow. I got to figure out the name of that guy. That's at 2 p.m. So there's a 2 p.m. Eastern podcast. Then there's 4 p.m. Eastern with Pink Bella. And then tomorrow night with Rob Castaldo. Rob will probably do readings, and then, we'll talk about like an esoteric topic. And then Pink Bella, she'll be doing the Galactic Akashic Records. And then what is this guy's name? I can't remember. I gotta look it up. But yeah, that's all tomorrow. So 2 p.m., 4 p.m., and 2 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Eastern, and then evening. So 3 shows tomorrow. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jim. And I'll see everybody tomorrow. Support the podcast, guys, and take care. Have a good night, everybody.